Hey guys, welcome to class. We're going to start in a comfortable, easy seat. If sitting with the legs crossed like this is still uncomfortable, you can always place a blanket or maybe even a block underneath your hips so that you can, it'll lift you up a little bit and make this a little bit more accessible. So we're going to start with just a little meditation. Go ahead and roll your shoulders up, back and down away from the ears. Gently close your eyes. And taking your attention to the sounds that you hear. Maybe starting with the sound that's furthest away, and then slowly making your way closer. Taking your attention to your body. Notice how you feel physically. And then taking your attention to your breath. And with every inhale, begin to deepen your breath a little bit more. And start to pick up the Ujjayi breath, or that ocean sounding breath. Gently drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. Drop your chin down to your chest. And then take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Let's take one more round. Drop the chin, make your view back over to the right. And then drop your chin, make your way back over to the left. Bring the head back up to center. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. Allow your fingertips to lightly touch at the top, and then twist to the left. So right hand comes to the left knee. Your left hand comes anywhere behind you. And then coming back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. And then coming back to center. We're going to take the right hand down to the mat. Sweep your left arm up and over. So you're going to use this right hand to gently press that left hip towards the mat. And then taking big circles here with the left arm. Getting that shoulder joint a little more open, getting that synovial fluid moving around. And then switch directions. We'll take one more full breath in. And switch sides. Left hand down, sweep the right arm up and over. And taking big circles here with the right arm. And switch directions. Take one more full breath in. And then making your way back up to center. And straighten your left leg out towards the top of your mat. Keep the right foot in. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, reach forward, and then fold. So if this is the feet or the foot is too far away, you can always take the hands down to your mat, kind of using that resistance to pull the chest forward, or using a strap and taking the strap around the arch of your foot and then using that to pull the chest forward. Lifting up, switch sides, left foot in, right leg out. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, reach forward and fold. And then inhale, lift your chest. We're gonna make our way out to hands and knees or tabletop position. If this is too much on the knees, you can always double up your mat or take your knees to a blanket. And then dropping the belly down on the inhale, gaze in, tailbone up. Exhale, curl through the spine, press the floor away, chin to chest. 2 more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more inhale. And exhale. And coming back out to a neutral spine, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Thinking about pressing the right rib bones out towards the side. And switching sides. And then coming back to center, make your way out onto your belly, coming into Sphinx pose. So you want to stack your shoulders over the elbows. Fingers are spread wide, and as if you could kind of slide yourself across the floor. And when you think about energetically pulling the hands and the palms back as you reach your chest forward. Think about lifting up out of the shoulders, not dipping into them, right? Press the earth away. Just take a few deep breaths here. And then gently release all the way down. Extend your right arm out perpendicular to your body. We're going to roll onto the right shoulder. Allow your head to meet your mat. If it doesn't, you can always prop it up with a block. And release, and we'll switch sides. And pressing into your hands and knees, and then shift the hips back towards your heels for child's pose. And then making your way up through hands and knees, we're going to come into downward facing dog, so tuck the toes. Begin to lift your hips simultaneously, press into your hands, reaching your chest towards your toes. And then work on pressing the heels down towards the mat. If they don't touch, it's all good. If you need to modify this, you can always keep the knees down on the mat. And then taking your gaze forward, we're going to walk or step your feet up to your wrist, coming into ragdoll. And if the feet don't make it, you can always shimmy the hands back towards the feet. Big bend in the knees. Allow your upper body to meet your thighs. Release any tension in the neck. And then releasing your hands down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. You can press off of your mat, or you can press off the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Get strong in the legs as you come all the way up. Extended mountain, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to move through a sun salutation, but we're going to take it nice and slow and super modified. All right, so on an inhale, sweep the arms up, extended mountain. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. You can bend the knees if you need to. Allow your head to be heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. So you can begin to straighten the legs here as you press off. Create this nice flat back, right? Shoulders down away from the ears. Chest reaches forward. On the exhale, you can bend the knees, bringing the hands down to the mat. walk or step back into plank. So if you can hold this, great. Otherwise, drop the knees down to the mat. On the exhale, we're going to shift forward off the toes or the knees. Bend the elbows. Keep them hugged in by your sides. Lower down, chaturanga. You can release the belly to the mat. And then inhale, press into the hands, lift the chest. Any amount, cobra or maybe full up dog. Exhale, release. Press into your hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Taking the gaze in between your hands, walk or step to the top of your mat, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Get strong in the legs, come all the way up, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're gonna make our way into triangle from here. Keep the right foot just like it is. We're gonna step the left foot back, maybe 3 to 4 feet. But if you look down, you want the heel of your front foot in line with the arch of your back foot. Lower body stays nice and strong. Extend the arms out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. And then lower down any amount. You can press off your shin. Hand comes all the way down to the mat, or you can press off a block. But if the left shoulder starts to collapse like this, right, the chest is pointing more towards the ground than it is the side, then you know you need to lift the upper body up some. Maybe take the hand up higher. Come all the way back up to standing. Turn the right foot in. Left foot turns towards the back of your mat as we just switch sides. Extend the arms out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach, and then lower down. Even though that left hand's reaching down, I want you to think about keeping the upper body lifted. And then soft bend in the left knee, come all the way back up to standing, turn the left foot in, maybe heel toe the feet in a little bit, and then step back to the top of your mat. So we're gonna move into some balance, and we're gonna start with 2 feet. So you can either have big toes together, or you can have the feet hip distance apart. This is gonna give you a little bit more stability. So we're going to, on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up, and come up onto your tippy toes. You're kind of walking all around. That's okay, because what we're really wanting to do here is build strength in the feet and in the ankles. Right, so if you're not like completely still, it's all good. And if you fall, then you just pop the heels back up. And gently release. We're gonna stretch the feet out. So we're gonna take like little circles here, rolling over the tops of your feet, right, working that ankle out. Right, maybe even taking that foot behind you, bend in the knee so you can stretch out that Achilles tendon. You might even start to feel that in your calf. All right, and we'll switch sides. So rolling over the tops of your left feet, your left feet. Some of you may have 2 left feet. I don't know. All right, so just stretching out the tops of your foot and then stepping that left foot back. Put a little bend in the knee. Not a stretch I do often. I can really feel that. All right, then making your way back to standing, and we're gonna come into tree pose. So you've got some options here. You're gonna ground that left foot down into the mat, right? So be intentional with like shifting that weight over and getting the foot prepared, right? So I want you to like spread the toes out wide. I want you to get grounded, shift that weight, right? Just really being intentional with where we're placing our body and what we're doing with it. And then you can either prop the right foot up like a little kickstand, You could bring it to your inner calf or all the way up to the inner thigh. But I want you to think about pressing with as much force with this standing leg as you are with the leg that's perched. And then taking the right knee back just enough so that the hip doesn't move, right? This is a hip opener, but we want to keep the hips nice and squared. And then you can take any arm variation here that helps balance you best, or maybe takes you to your fullest expression, whatever that looks like today. Remember the breath. And then gently release, and we'll switch sides. Shifting the weight into the right foot, bring the left foot up. Again, any amount. And then make your way onto your backs. And hug your knees in towards your chest. And then bringing your feet flat to the mat, we're going to come into bridge pose. So taking the hands down by your sides, should be able to graze your heels, or again, depending on the proportion of your body, maybe a little further away, maybe a little closer, but that's always a good indication about how far your feet should be. Just stacked right underneath the knees, right? So grounding down into your feet, begin to lift the hips. You're gonna walk your shoulders underneath you and interlace your fingers. Keeping the knees stacked over the ankles. Thinking about lifting through the chest here as well as the hips. Gently untuck your shoulders, come down one vertebrae at a time. And then gently bring the knees in towards your chest. Take the arms out to a T, lower your knees to the right as you take your gaze down the right arm. Bring your knees back to center. We'll switch sides. Lower to the right, taking your gaze down the left arm. Bringing your knees back to center, and then make your way to a seated position on your mat. Again, sitting nice and tall in the spine, shoulders down away from the ears. Just take a few breaths here with the eyes opened or closed. Breath here together. Take a full breath in through the nose. Open your mouth side out. And bring your hands to your heart center. Such an honor to guide you through your practice today. Namaste.